Okay, hi, this is Dennis Wilborn, founder of Active Trend Trading. I want to welcome you to How to Make Money Trading Stocks. This is a weekly live stream that we do. I just want to remind everybody that our purpose of Active Trend Trading is to do just a couple of things. One, my main objective is to clarify, simplify the trading process so you as a trader can do two things. One, multiply your profits and minimize your risk. So buckle your seatbelts, bring your trays and seat backs to their full upright position. We are taking off right now. So right now we're up about a little bit better than that. We're almost up to $168,000, which has put us up to close to 20% for the year. As you can see, the markets have also been doing quite well. Dow's up, almost 1,000 points today, adding to a 500-point raise yesterday. So things seem to be in gear to head up even higher. One of the things that I am trying to promise everybody, and Steve and I are going to work on this really hard, I want to keep this session to about 10 to 15 minutes, no more. So rather than putting a lot of fluff in it, we're going to jump right into the charts. As I jump over to the S&P chart, hopefully that's what I have up front. Well, I don't. I have one. OKTA. Put that in your notebook. That's a stock that Steve was going to talk about today, but is going to talk about another one instead. But just still put it on your watch list. If it's the first time you are joining us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and give us a nice, basically hit the bell so you'll be notified of any new content that we do post. We're posting a lot of new training content on YouTube. You want to stay attuned to that. And do me a favor. I know we don't like to hit that little thumbs up button, but in the world of social media, it really helps small businesses like Active Trend Trading to do better when you do hit the thumbs up. So please do. Anyway, Spider, here's what I'm looking at, guys. One, we blasted off. We basically last week had a, what would be called a hanging man type of candlestick. This week, we didn't waste much time blowing through the high. One of the things I want to point out to you as a, let me get my drawing tools up, is something to be watching. Anytime you get a situation like this where you have a small body candle, even on a weekly basis, if you drop below the high of the body, you can use that as an opportunity to get long into the position. So keep your eye on that. What do we have? Basically, we almost have, well, I would say clear sky, but it's not totally. We have a level of resistance that will be, it's coming up to very close. We may have actually hit it today. And that's why we may see some slowing down. Whenever, we have a gap up, I do not, we have strength coming, more strength coming into the market. The job report was, better than expected. And I just, anytime you see something like this and you go, okay, when might we start to slow down? Go to your left, find your left, and then basically, we don't want to do that. I want to put in a, go to your left, put in a, when you can find a level of past resistance / support, like right at that low, I want to put that in. As you can see, we are butting our heads up against that. That is a ceiling. That is also basically just below a gap down to an open. So that whole gap could act as resistance all the way up to $338. I'll be looking next week for any kind of a pullback back into the 8-day moving average. That is the moving average that the S&P is respecting. So look for a pullback into that area. Jumping over to the IWM. Then I'm going to come back to the Qs. The Russell. Russell also is active. It looks a whole bunch like the S&P right now. Same type of mannerism, same type of character. Clearly, it has broken to the upside very nicely. Now, what am I looking for? It did something similar. small body from last week, went below the high of the body, and then ripped up through it. And that was at $140.26. And has run up about $12 from since then. What am I looking? Positives on the IWM on the Russell. One, that is a huge positive. Where above price action is back above the 200-day moving average. That's very, speaks very well for what may be transpiring. I'm a pullback trader, so I want to see some kind of pullback back into a level of support and or the moving averages, which may happen as soon as the 8-day gets up here. But you have to take a look here. For the past almost 2 weeks, price action have been respecting the 8-day moving average in this case. And so watch for it to do that. Worst case, just, where's the breakout level? About 146.18. So that's a great breakout level. And the cues. Save the best for last, Steve. You're going to like this. We have got to now take the cues as they have done a breakout. From that high, right? Let me get there we go. So we now have a breakout. Any kind of pullback back into that breakout level of about 237 could be an opportunity to look at getting into a long trade on the cues. This is very, it's not without some caution though, simply because of what? Well, one, yes, we're breaking out to a new high. Momentum is not yet. Now momentum there on the market forecast weekly, still a little bit of negative divergence, not a lot. But oftentimes, even though we have a negative divergence, oftentimes price action will continue to bust on higher from here. So if you were looking at that bearish reversal signal there, which in that case was a dragonfly, doji, or a hanging man type of a candlestick, that is now voided. As soon as that high is taken out, that voids that signal. And then you wait to the end of the week to see, did we get another bearish reversal? No, we did not. So I'm looking for, hey, we're in, from what I can, we're at all new highs on the NASDAQ. Therefore, we're in blue sky territory to push higher. And I'll throw one thing on it. My wife doesn't like, my wife, Michelle, is on the YouTube channel. So if you have any questions about anything we're doing, please ask her. I hope you are joining, some people are joining us live on YouTube. And I'm going to throw in that fib. Well, darn it. I'm going to throw in a fib here. Activate this. And if you're looking for better understanding of fib, I have put 2 training sessions on YouTube covering 2, basically both price action and time action for Fibonacci. So you might want to go over and take a look at it. Those are free videos. So our next target, based on a break of this 100% retracement, is up here at the 1272. The 1272 is at 257.35. So you can mark that down, and for going into next week, and also for a potential upside target, which is good. What is the next area? Would be of course the 1618. But right now I'm looking for, hey, we need some kind of pullback. Again, 8 and 20-day moving average. 20 provides the 20-day moving average on the NASDAQ provides the strongest level of support. And so that's where we would expect a bounce from there. So, okay, that's all I've got. Steve, what'd you think about that for quick and dirty?
Pretty good, Dennis. And as you point out, I remain bullish, so I take all long setups.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And at this point, so do I.
Yep.
So here's the stock you wanted us to look at, and I've got the
Nvidia, the weekly chart. We're in new high ground. We at around 298, 292.75 or so. We broke into a prior all-time high, broke a prior all-time high level from a couple of years back. And we've held that area. The trend is strong. We had a beautiful signal about 6 days ago on the 27th of May, a reversal on the daily chart. And then it popped a little and then went sideways. And this morning,
Yeah.
it was in character with that sideways action. But after I recommended the stock to you, it's since become a little strong. I still think it's buyable today or Monday.
Yeah.
In this general area. I think this stock's ready to pop.
Okay, that's good. We've got, yeah, I mean, it's basically just a low volume consolidation. So
Very
yeah,
low volume. Yeah,
excellent, Steve.
I like that volume. Yeah.
And so one of the ways, folks, you can look at trading this, if you can put an order down here at around the 8-day moving average. If it breaks below these lows, go ahead and jump out and then play it off the 20. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Good. That's good.
And so, okay, cool. Steve, thank you very much. Let's see.
You're very welcome.
Let's see. Barry has a good question. Energy, oil, banks, euro, EM are all vaulting today, likely due to interest rates and weakening dollar. Do you expect these industry sectors to continue to rotate again? NVDA is the only stock not moving, likely to break out soon. Yeah, we totally agree on that, Barry. IBD, Investor Business Daily, actually talked a little bit about the sector rotation. Yes, there is one ongoing. There's a lot of things I think that are going on to facilitate this. Gosh, I don't want to say, okay, I'll say this with, and I do not, I'm looking at this purely as a stock, as a trader, okay? With the massive number of protest and interactions that have taken place this week in cities across the United States. If there is no strong repercussion, in other words, another upswing of the COVID-19, in other words, they find out, well, COVID-19 maybe isn't going to be as bad as we thought it was going to be. If that plays out, I think there is a huge level of pent-up demand that will want to take this economy higher. And again, I'm not, I'm looking at it purely as a trader about what's happening under the surface, and not wanting to make a comment either way about what's going on, but just I'm just looking at the facts on the ground. And so I could see that happening, Barry, that we could get more rotation, more into, I mean, the jobs number apparently was phenomenal. We went from 20% unemployment to 13% unemployment in a week. So if that trend continues, watch out. This market could launch off into, a amazing thing. I will still continue to play my pullbacks though, because that's the safest place that I have found for getting into a stock. So great question. Hey, let's finish up so we can keep it, see if we can achieve our goal of keeping it below 15 minutes. That's my objective for the day. So I just really briefly say, okay, S&P, we are beating the S&P by 19.6% in strategies 1 and 2. And as we highlighted earlier, our objective remains the same. Time and actual intel to clarify and simplify trading decisions and multiply so that you can multiply profits, minimize risk. And I was basically, when I first wrote this, I said, NASDAQ, breakout or fake out? We'll know after next week. If it is a breakout, and I'm basically thinking more that it is a breakout, we'll be defining where and when to enter. Steve, great pick on the stock. This is pay attention to Steve's pick on this one. This is the second week in a row he's identified Nvidia. So last but not least, learn to focus on the process, and the profits will follow. So if you could, in the comments, would you be interested in learning an option cash flow strategy? Just yes or no in the comments. I'd appreciate that. And if you're on YouTube, yes or no in the comments. And then the next question, yes or no, or higher or lower? Will the market be higher or lower by the end of December? You just throw a higher or lower. And so as again, we said, hey, remember, hey, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you'll be notified of new content on YouTube. The Bay Area Money Makers meeting webinar, we're moving it to June 13th. This week has just been, there's just been too much going on this week from so many different directions. So I called an audible and said, you know what, our bodies and our minds need to rest. And so that's why I'm not going to be doing that this weekend. And then Steve's doing a live chart review on a regular basis. Steve, I still got to get that out to, we didn't connect this week, but I want to get that information out to people so they can join you on that. And then, yep, if I'll just lay this out there, hey, if you're tired of searching for stock, stop searching for stock. We have a very target-rich environment right now. Jump on board what I think is the best watch list to follow on a weekly basis in our Power Rank Elite watch list, where I start with all 13 of the premium IBD watch list, and I boil it down into the top 15 or 20. And it's free. Go to this website and you can get it. And if you're on YouTube, Michelle is dropping that link in for you. And from my home to yours, aloha, trade well, have a great weekend. You know, be free, stay safe, subscribe and hit the bell. And here's the next video that'll be coming up. So again, thank you guys. Have an awesome week. And those of your premium members, we'll see you at the top of the next hour. Steve, thanks for the great suggestion on the stock.
You're welcome. Okay, have a good one.
Aloha. God bless.